A lot of work to get Ewan to the front. He's now at the back, and this occasion it was John Degenkolb who was moving Caleb-Ewan up. And on Ewan's wheel, you could see his lead-out man, Jasper de Boust, also being protected. It's interesting to see that the top classics men, Gilbert and Degenkolb, being used up just to fight for position here today. There's Degenkolb in the centre. He's in the black, red and white of Lotto. And Gilbert, we mentioned, right at the back here, wearing 61, having done a job about 5 minutes further back. 10 kilometres to go. It's not just the fight to get to the front, it's the fight to stay there. Jasper STUYVEN on the right-hand side as we looked at it. Left-hand side here. Tim de Klerk hanging on after all the work he's done. Left-hand side as we look at it now with the blue. So John Degenkolb's done a great job to get Caleb-Ewan to the front there. Tries to keep that position. And here's Giacomo NIZZOLO as well. Left-hand side, green jersey. Mechanical problems, and we think that might well be Brian Coquard. If there's a change so late, it is Brian Coquard, and it's a very, very late mechanical. Oh, last thing you need is a sprinter. Someone else's bike as well. Absolutely rotten luck for Brian Coquard. Game not over yet, but it's going to be so hard from here on in. 9 Ks to go, playing catch-up on someone else's bike. Gilbert back to the front, almost rotating in turns with John Degenkolb. Just alongside him you could see Jasper de Boust, the lead-out man for Caleb-Ewan. Frederick Backert, who had been back at the cars, is now doing a job to try and pace Brian Coquard to the front of the bunch, and you could just see the likes of Jens de Bussere waiting at the back as well. They're in the green jerseys, the self-styled men in glass. Don't ask me what it means. Elia Viviani finds himself at the front. Here you go, B&B Hotels. So Coquard on the left-hand side here wearing 161. Just in front of him wearing 163 Cyril Barth, and Jens de Bussere, Belgian sprinter, who'll be no doubt a help in the lead out for Brian Coquard, just hanging on at the back to wait for him. Thibaut Pinot has his guardian angel Stefan Kung alongside him. Sean was talking about how big a day this could be for Elia Viviani. 17 race days for Cofidis this season, yet to taste victory with his new team. Yellow jersey slipping and sliding. No guarantees wherever you are here, Sean. You can work hard to get to the front. Very quickly you find yourself at the back again.
Yes, and we did see a perfect example with Philippe Gilbert. At one moment he was very much in the rear of the peloton, then a kilometre or less he was at the front of the peloton again, and you just, you get a lucky one, it opens up a bit, maybe a rider or two moving up, you just latch onto the wheel and they pull you, part way, or not all the way to the front, and you can see there that the yellow jersey, having difficulty in it. You can see there's such a mix of riders here, and even if you have 2 or 3 riders, you get crowded out, a rider pushes on you a little bit and then you lose 4 or 5 places, and you find yourself sliding back very quickly. So everybody has to make the effort here to keep their position and keep in the top 15 to 20 riders.
Cofidis are doing an excellent job at the moment in their white and red jerseys. Those of you who weren't watching earlier on, it's the Cofidis team boss who was the winner on the only ever Tour de France stage to finish in La Chatre, where we head to today. 1997, Cédric Vasseur, after a huge long breakaway in which he also took the yellow jersey. Can they carry his spirit through to the end today and see Viviani take his first victory in his new colours? Yellow jersey rather isolated on the right-hand side at the moment. Not too many BORA HANSGROHE jerseys still towards the front here. Nibali being looked after. He's on the left-hand side as we look at it now, as Ewan is delivered back to the front again. Frederick Frison, John Degenkolb, Jasper de Boust with him. We saw Roger Kluge not far away as well. Oh, we've had a crash, and several riders down at the back. Oh dear, and for Brian Coquard it's happened again. Dusan Rajovic, the Serbian champion, is down too. Number 116 down is Niki Terpstra on the left hand side in the blue. Also there for AG2R La Mondiale, that is very, very bad news for Aurélien Paré-Peintre. Terps are going down behind after trying to avoid everything. And it looks as though Israel Startup Nation had a rider involved in Guillaume Boivin, the Canadian. Vazquide involved too. Brian Coquard. Rotten luck times two.
Yes, and you could see there, you know, it just looked like a touch of wheel, and down they go. And as I mentioned, you know, if you're just in that position, in or around that crash, you know, when it happens, it's so difficult to get around it. And yeah, a lot of the riders here getting tangled up.
It's simply not Brian Coquard's day. Simply not Brian Coquard's day. It could be another crosswind day. 5.5 kilometers to go, and there is a group developing. Sagan now on the back here. And this is Yves Lompart, who's with Zdeněk Štýbar. And there's a rider from Cofidis who I think is Cyril Lemoine. This is Stefan Kung trying to close the gap. He has Thibaut Pinot on his wheel. Tish Pinot is the first most advanced man in a Sunweb jersey. Elia Viviani behind. I'm looking for Sam Bennett. He's trying to move up to the bottom right-hand side of your picture. The yellow jersey, Marc Schachmann's right on the wheel of Bennett, in fact. Michael Murkow is doing the same as well. And it's all back together for now. Just under 5Ks to go. Oh, this is hotting up again. Chaotic scenes at Paris-Nice of the type we love to see. Just see that wind is still a headwind, but head crosswind coming from the top right-hand side of your picture. Schachmann has to move up here. Same with Higuita, both in danger of missing any splits in the second half of this bunch. Nairo Quintana right at the front of affairs. He is one classy bike rider, Sean.
Yes, well, it's amazing the way he can ride in these conditions. For such a small, lightweight guy, he can just be up there. And you know, you can see there just a bit further back, a lot of riders just fighting to try and keep a position, and he finds himself on the front. And you know, this is the point where we're talking about these side winds. If they really push on here, you have to be in that top 10-15 riders if you think of general classification. Otherwise you could find yourself in a split so quickly.
The world champion has emptied the tank. Mads Pedersen is done for the day. It's down now to the likes of Jasper, STUYVEN, Edward turns to look after Vincenzo Nibali. Sam Bennett and Nairo Quintana there going at it with the elbows and shoulders. That's a mismatch if I ever saw one. Everybody desperately just trying to find teammates here. Higuita still in the bunch, still looking good, but today he's a little further down, isn't he? Same with Schachmann. NIZZOLO just losing his position too. Remember, when we get to the finish straight today, we're looking at an uphill finish. A few roundabouts, few turns, and there is a headwind inside the final 800 metres or so. In fact, it's the last 800 metres or so, which are ever so slightly uphill after that last roundabout. There's a sort of a turn to the right coming up here, and then a long straight road for a kilometre or so. Looking at yesterday's winner in the green jersey, Giacomo NIZZOLO, the European champion, alongside him in the blue, white and gold stars, Elia Viviani. The man in the green, orange and white, the Irish champion, Sam Bennett. Everybody also watching him. This is Rudy Barbier, who's still in the mix at the end. We're going to have some sort of bunch sprint here, but not everybody's involved, Sean. It's a much reduced group. Yes,
it is. And unless we get a little bit of a slowdown where we can see, so some of the sprinters are a bit further off, they can, you know, reposition themselves. But for the moment, again, it's Cofidis who are really doing a good job here. We did see Duconi Quickstep, Bob Jungels was starting to appear there, but yeah, get crowded out again, and it's been like that now for the last 20 kilometres. A team looks good, then suddenly they disappear from the front of the peloton.
Look out too for Israel Startup Nation's Ugo Hofstetter, even Nicolo Bonifacio for Total Direct Energy. Lot of riders with possibilities here, and Total Direct Energy on the front through Adrien Petit now with 2 kilometres still to go. Sagan remains involved as well. Well, there's a couple of left turns there. A sharp right-hand turn coming up, followed very quickly by another couple of sharp lefts. That fight for position was important. There's the right turn. Now a few hundred metres of straight road. At the roundabout here we come to a sort of a two-stage left turn, 1.7 kilometres to go. Looking towards the back of the bunch where the number 95 Nico Den sits. Further up the road they'll be looking to Michael Matthews and Keir Spall to try and win the stage for Team Sunweb. Here's Sam Bennett moved up on the left-hand side now, and the Koenig Quickstep have obviously decided that now's the time to go, Sean.
Yes, well, if you can hold off for as long as possible, that is the best thing to do, and Quickstep are, you know, very good at that. And you can see a number of riders here with Sam Bennett, and this is the time you need the guys to be able to give you the perfect lead out.
Yep, Julien Alaphilippe has just finished his turn at the front. In front of Sam Bennett, who's just getting a little boxed in, a little lost there, was Michael Merkel, and Bennett himself is going to have to move up now. This is Stibar looking behind. Bennett now refining his place. There was Merkel, the Danish track star and road national champion, looking around. He finds Bennett, the Irish champion, on his wheel. 1 kilometre to go now. And remember, most of the finale ever so slightly uphill into a headwind. Timing is going to be absolutely crucial here on stage 3 of Paris-Nice, a stage that's been a slow burner into a headwind for most of the day. But we're waiting. We are ready for an explosive finale. There is Chalette-Sur-Loing being moved up towards the front by none other than John Degenkolb. Jasper de Baast, his leader man, is there or thereabouts as well. Number 135 is there, Ugo Hofstetter, the winner the other day of Le Samin. He's in the white and the light blue at the moment. The Koenig Quickstep still there, still in position, as John Degenkolb now comes to the front to try and position the right rider in the right place. In his case, that is of course Chalette-Sur-Loing, looking behind, looking for the European champion. He's out the way, he's boxed in. We look at it through the centre now. It's Michael Matthews who's trying to lead out in the middle. Matthews is there. Cofidis are having a go as well. Keir Spall sits and waits on the wheel of Michael Matthews. Peter Sagan is involved in this. A crash on the left-hand side. Bennett's down on the left-hand side and will not be involved. Sam Bennett out of the game, and it's now the sprint that's going to come through the middle. There's a lot of waiting, a lot of looking around. Boll is involved. It's Ivan Garcia Cortina now hits the front. There is Garcia Cortina. Barbier trying to come up around. Garcia Cortina still there. Sagan on his wheel. It's victory for the Spaniard. Victory for Ivan Garcia Cortina. And that is a surprise of all surprises. We know he's strong, we know he's fast, but he has beaten some of the very best sprinters in the world. Elia Viviani wheels in 16 seconds back. Sam Bennett caught up in a crash with just a few hundred metres to go, sits holding his hand. But Ewan was there, Degenkolb was there. A whole host of super sprinters. Sagan was on his wheel but couldn't come round. It's Ivan Garcia Cortina with the delight, and worry in the meantime for Sam Bennett. Quite some stage to Paris-Nice, and I'm afraid quite some disappointment and worry as to Sam Bennett's health. And it's his right wrist he's holding there. Sean, talk us through this. It was chaotic.
Yes, it was chaotic, and you could see there that the rider from Israel Startup Nation just touching the wheel there and just pushing Bennett over to the side and into the barriers, and down they go.
That was Hofstetter, by the way, who caused that crash there. And this is Garcia Cortina on the right hand side in the orange coming up. Sagan is on his wheel, and you think at this point either he or Boll will have the speed to come around. Garcia Cortina timing it perfectly. Again that headwind, again the uphill. And the man from northern Spain absolutely bossing it.
What power he had there. You could see there when he opened up, you know, Sagan immediately in the wheel, but having difficulty, making any impression at all. It was just the most powerful man there won this one. And the uphill sprint, of course, it suited him as well.
Second win in the career of Ivan Garcia Cortina, and the 24-year-old from Gijón in Asturias has done the job for Bahrain McLaren. That is quite some win. Not least because he was on the front at quite a few different points during the stage doing a bit of work in the wind. He's found it in him at the end, and that could be a huge step forward in his career. Add that to his win in California last year. It's a big, big step forward. He's beaten Sagan, Pasqualon and the rest. Ivan Garcia Cortina wins stage 3 of Paris-Nice. In the meantime, we worry for Sam Bennett down in a crash in the last few hundred metres. Cortina. Yes, we know he's a top rider. We thought he might be able to win classics, but he's beaten all the sprinters.
First of all, a word on this this victory, winning on Paris-Nice. That must be a lot for a young rider like yourself, 24 years of age.
Yeah, it's true. Last year also I was second place in the second stage, and it's amazing. You know, we have a stage in a big race like Paris-Nice. It's one race I really like, so it's a really nice victory.
Yeah, we were expecting guys like Sam Bennett, like Caleb Ewan, like Peter Sagan, but you beat Peter Sagan. Take us through those last moments.
Yeah, me too. I was surprised. No? I don't know. I just see a bit of chaos in the end. I just find my place. Was a bit of space to go. I just go full gas and till the end, no? And then I can take the victory.
It was a typical day for Ivan Garcia Cortina. I mean, with wind, with difficult conditions. I mean, you're a classic rider, right?
Yeah, actually, it's a weather I like. No, I suffer in the race, but I think everybody suffer. And the end, normally I have a good legs in these days, so I really like these conditions.
First big victory before many other victories, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
Gracias.
The man who comes from the wind and rain battered part of northern Spain, Gijon.
Qui va continuer donc avec ce maillot distinctif. Il a été félicité par Nicolas Forissier, député de l'Indre. Sergio Higuita, le champion de Colombie-sur-Route, effectivement, toujours bien positionné. Mon cher Damien, il continue donc l'aventure de blanc vêtu. Le maillot de meilleur jeune, tout simplement, sur les épaules de Sergio Higuita, avec la grande question, jusqu'où pourra-t-il aller? Affaire à suivre.
Voilà, réponse demain, premier élément de réponse demain à l'occasion du contre-la-montre individuel du côté de Saint-Amand-Montrond. Ce sera évidemment un temps fort pour le classement général de cette 78e édition de Paris-Nice. Nous reste
Max, take us through your day today. It was rather quiet at the beginning, but the last part was flat out, right?
Yeah, exactly. For the last 90 kilometers, it was really difficult to secure the position in front. Everybody was ready for big crosswind action, and in the end, it happened on the last 8 kilometers. We had a few bad crashes. I hope nobody is heavily injured. And yeah, in the end, I made it maybe, I don't know, somewhere in front.
What can we expect from you tomorrow? Tomorrow is, of course, the time trial.
Yeah, in the past I showed already a few good time trials, and I want to still defend this beautiful jersey.
So does that mean your ambitions have changed a little bit? You're more ambitious, you're more, it looks more promising for you on this Paris-Nice, maybe to win the race?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Like I said the last days, I'm gonna try. Tomorrow is the next challenge. I'm gonna give my best, and afterwards we have a hilly 2 mountain stages, and I think this will be the big showdown.
Merci, monsieur. Thanks a lot.
Merci.
Thank you.